Hello friends, myself Shriram. Now we will understand how do you basically define a pointer to a structure and then how do you use that. Okay, so essentially we will talk about pointer to structure, pointer to a structure. Okay, so here we have already used this structure account, so I'm going to use that. So here you will see struct account, and then it has three properties like account number, name and balance, and then I have initialized this of variable a of type struct account with some number like 1234 is the account number, name of the person John, and the balance. Okay, now I want to basically have a pointer. So the way in which we used to have in, suppose if I have a int x, then I can always have int star p, and then I will say p is equal to ampersand of x. Okay, so on the similar lines here also I can do that. So for that now I can have my own pointer. So I can have here struct account and then star say ptr. Okay, so ptr is for pointer, or we can use simply p. Okay, p for pointer. Now this is obviously a pointer of type struct account. So the same way, the way in which we have in integers, okay, or character, like whatever the primitive data types we have used. So how do I now use it? So I will have basically p is equal to ampersand of a. So p is equal to ampersand of a. That means what I have done, that let me first explain you now. So let us say that this is your a. It has essentially three parts right now, I believe so. Yeah. So account number, name and balance. Okay. So this is what it is. So this is a dot account number. A dot account number. Okay. Then essentially this is a dot name. Okay. I'm just putting name n for name, and then a dot balance. Okay. So a dot balance is for the last one. Okay, now here you basically have come up with something which is a pointer. Okay, so what exactly you are done is, this is your pointer p. Okay, and now obviously p is what you, in the p you have put address of this a. So that means let us say the address of this is say 6000. I'm just putting 4 digits. Okay, it will be obviously very big one. So here what we are doing is, here this is where it will be 600, and I already have told you, like this is a one entity, this a is one entity. It is not like this is the starting address, this is the middle address, or this is end address. No, nothing like that, because you can have multiple such uh, properties or fields essentially. So there is nothing like start or end. Essentially this is a complete entity. So this essentially p has the address of this. So using this you can always print it. So let's see now how do you print it, or how do you access the element. So the way in which you are now going to access it is something similar. So this is using a dot. Now using a pointer you can always do it, and then this particular thing will change now, and it will not be a dot, but you will have to use p, and then you will see this is an arrow, and then using this arrow you can access it. Okay, so let me just get rid of all this, and you can just, let me just type p, and then I will say this arrow, automatically you will see this will come. Okay, so you can have the name and then comma p, this is a minus sign, and then the greater than sign, and then the balance. Minus and greater than sign is essentially what is that. So you are able to print it. So let's see now this in action. Yeah, so you can see this 1 2 3 4 John and 5. So this is essentially second time is using pointer. So probably if you are confused, then we can have here pointer message, and then, and this is the basic one. Okay, so this is the instance. Okay, inst I'll just put. So you can see this one instance and ptr. Okay, so now on the similar lines, if I take input from user, because we already have done this in our previous videos, so I can take this input from the user and then I can print it. So for that now what I can do is, I can use here, say suppose if I have another pointer, or if I just want to use p, because I can always use the same p, because p now then can have the address of b, so I can always do this ampersand of b. Okay, and then using P, I can always print the V1 here. On the similar lines, I can simply copy this and I can print it here. And instead of this, because now I have done it, this is using B. So this is, I will just put instance and then this is pointer. Okay, and then obviously this is for B. Okay, so let's run this. So it is asking us to enter. So let's enter account number. Let's say 4567. Okay. The name of the person is, let's say, Charles. Okay. And then say balance is, say, 6400.80. So you can say this. I've used it using pointer and then it has printed Charles and all that. Okay. So that's the way typically it works. Okay. Now what we now need to do is basically is how do I pass this to another function, because if I want to display in any other function or if I want to print it, then how do I do that? Okay, so I can simply write my own function, say print, my print. Okay, so I'll just put it here, my print. Okay, and now I basically have to have a pointer and here I will just say ptr. Even if I don't give name, it's okay, because as I told you, type is enough. Okay, so struct account, and then I can basically use this. I can write this function and then I will use it. Okay, so my print and then struct account star ptr. And now if I want to print it, then I just can use this line itself. You can use this line and I can simply call it. Okay, so how do I now do that? Is essentially here now I will not be basically calling this. I don't want to call this. Similarly, I will take obviously input from user and then I don't want to print in the main. Okay, so here I can call my print and to that I can pass ampersand of a. Okay, so obviously this is not required now, p is not required, this is not required here. And then what we have done is we have basically asked the user to give us input, and once again we will call. Now after this we can call my print with ampersand of b. Okay, so one and the same thing I am doing, and then now we can rely on my print function to print. Okay, so here obviously we require ptr, ptr and ptr. Okay, and let's call this now. Okay, so first thing it printed appropriately because we already have initialized 1, 2, 3, 4 John and 5,000 rupees whatever. Now we want to enter the amount. Okay, so here we have to give the, so 7896. Okay, is the account number, and let's say it's for Mary, and then the amount is say 2450.75. So I can do that, and now you can see every time it is basically printed using this line, and you can see this ptr has come similarly. Why? Because now we are relying on my print. So what exactly we did, we basically passed the address of the structure, and then using this address we collected in the pointer, and then using this pointer we printed it. So that's the way you can basically also pass the address of the structure, and using pointer you can print it. I hope you like this video. It's a very simple thing. Only thing, the notation of pointer is different. Like you have to use minus hyphen rather, not minus sign, hyphen, and then the greater than bracket basically gives you the sign of pointer, and just using that you can print it. Thank you.